Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorials on my channel. If you're a old member, you're welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft this pattern step by step, and in my next tutorial we're going to be sewing it together. So if you want to know how I do about it, keep on watching. I went ahead to place in my two pattern into two. Therefore, I'm going to be drafting the back and the front of the basic bodice pattern first. Okay. First thing I did was to go ahead, take my soldier measurement divided by 2. So mine is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inch. I'll slant it down by 1 inch. Then I'll move down to my armhole deep, which is 7.5. I'll mark it up. After marking it up, I'll go ahead to mark 7 inch. That 7 inch I use for my soldier measurement. I mark that up. After marking it up, the next thing I'll do is to go ahead to connect it all the way like this. Next thing I'll do now is to measure from the soldier to the bust point line, which is 10 inch, and mark that up. From the soldier to the under bust, which is 14 inch. From the soldier to the length of this top, which is 19 inch, and mark that up. Once I'm done marking it up, I'll go ahead to connect that up with a straight line. After connecting it up, the next thing I'll do now is to go ahead to level it up, the chest line, the bust point line, the under bust line, and the length line. All right. Now I will go ahead now to put the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 is 7. 7 divided by 2 will give me 3.5. Then I'll be adding ½ inch for the joining allowance for the dark. Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead to connect it with a straight line. What I will do next is to go ahead to mark my neck deep and my neck width of 3 by 3 inch. After marking it up, I'll go ahead to connect it up. Then I'm going to connect my soldier slant like so. The next thing I will do now is to go ahead and measure whatever I have from there to here and divide it by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.075. I'm going to go in by half. After marking it up, I will go ahead now to put 1/4 of my bust. Round my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. I'll mark it up. Then I'll go ahead to connect the front armhole. For the back armhole, I'll just connect it all the way to that center like this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in by 3.5 inch and mark that up. After marking it up, I'll go ahead to connect it all the way to the chest line. Okay, like so, with a straight ruler. After connecting it, I'll come here. I'm going to create my dab of ½ inch to the left and ½ inch to the right. Then now from the nipple point, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. After going down by 1 inch, I'll just go ahead to connect it up like this. After connecting it up, I'll come here at my waist. I'm going to put 1/4 of my waist, which mine is 26. 26 divided by 4 will give me 6.5. I'll add 1 inch for that dark we took, and then 3/4 inch of allowance. I'll come here to my under bust. I'll put 1/4 of my under bust, which is 30. 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5 plus 1 inch and 0.75 for the swear allowance. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing here, and my bust, I'll put 1/4 of my bust, which is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5 plus 3/4 inch of the allowance. Okay, I'll go ahead now to connect this straight like so. Once I'm done connecting it up, I'm going to come here from the under bust. I'll go up by 3 inch. I will mark that up depending on how deep you want this to be. I'll just kind of connect it up like this. Right, and how open you want the neckline to be at the front. Right, I'm going to take in my French scarf, place it up like this, and I'll just connect it from the under bust all the way to that 3 inch we went up. once I'm done doing so, you can choose to come down here, like just to go down, slant up your band like so, or you can just leave it up to that under bust line. I'll just go ahead to blend that up like this, as you can see me doing. After blending it up, I'll just go ahead to cut that up. Then I'm cutting the back first. For the back neck tip, I'll go down by 1.5 inch. Then I'm going to connect it all the way to here like so. Then we'll continue cutting it up. So if you take note that I did cut the back pattern and I separated it before cutting the front piece. So for the dark, we're going to go ahead to fold in inward like this. I'm going to be using the pepper gum to stick it up to each other like this. All right. Then after doing so, next thing I will do now is to go ahead. I'll take another paper. I'm going to place it under just to put everything up straight like this. Okay, like so. So now I'm just going to rub my pepper gum on it and place it up like this, like so. I want to make sure we connect this little space remaining here like this all the way to the waist, so everything should be same. All right, like this. See? Then I'm going to go ahead now and cut that up. Once we're done cutting it up, I'm just going to connect this part all the way like this. As you can see, I connected the dark up here like this. I'm going to be marking half an inch or 1 inch downward, and I'm going to connect it up like so. Then we'll go ahead to open up that part and extend the dark, and we're going to open it up like you can see me doing right there. Then I'll go ahead now to open up the downer dark, so that I'll be able to come. I'll go ahead now to gum that up with my pepper gum, like as you can see me doing. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just follow up what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to gum that up with the pepper gum and make sure I complete this part that is lacking like this. You see, like so. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and cut that up. So I'm just going to gum this up. All right, gum this up. Then at the downer part, I will spray about 4 inch. 4 inch. All right, 4 inch. Connect that up. Then we'll go ahead now to cut this up. So when you gather it up like this, it should be able to fit at this waistband right there. All right, like this. Should be able to fit there. Now we'll move to the back piece. I'll just go ahead to mark up the band, make sure everything is same. I'll just draw a straight line. Then I'm going to be adding the nipple to nipple measurement like we did for the front. And now you can choose to add a zipper at the back, or you can choose to add a zipper at the side. But me, I'm going to be adding a zipper at the side. Then I'm just going, that's my zipper allowance, I'm just folding in. And here you can choose to make your neckline more deeper, like you can go ahead like so. I'm going to be increasing again, going down by 1 inch, right? 1 inch. Then I'm just going to connect it up like that. Then I'll cut like so, and we are done with this the back and the front piece. Now moving to the sleeve. Even though I've already done a similar tutorial to this, First thing I will do is to go down. You draw a straight line. You go down by 4 inches for the sleeve cap. Rule a straight line from that sleeve cap. Go down to your sleeve length, to your desired length. You roll a straight line as well. Now, the next thing I'll do now is to go ahead and take round the armhole and divide it by 2, or you can use your pattern. You measure the armhole of your pattern like this, and you add it up right there. All right, so round my armhole is 15 divided by 2 give me 7.5. I'm going to go ahead to add a ½ inch to it like this. Then I'll connect this from here to here with a straight line. After doing so, I'll just measure up whatever I have and divide it by 2, which is 9 inch. 9 divided by 2 give me 4.5. Then from that 4.5, I'll still divide it again by 2, which is going to give me 0.25. Go down by ½ inch and divide this by 2 as well, and go up by ½ inch as well, or 3/4 inch. Right, I went up by 3/4 inch. Now I'll just go ahead, take up my French scarf. I'm gonna place it up like this all the way to here. See what I just did? Now from this middle point, I'll go up by 1 inch, connect it all the way to that 1 inch. Then now I'll flip up like this my French scarf. I'm going to connect it and pass through that ½ inch we went down like so. You see what I just did here? Right, you see what I just did? Very easy for the sleeve. It's very easy to understand. Now I'll come here at this downer part, depending on how wide you want it to be at the downer part. I'm just going to measure around the wrists and multiply that by 3. Okay, I'm just going to be marking it up, like I said, depending on how wide you want it to be at the downer part. I'm going to go ahead and connect it all the way to that point like this. And now I'll have to go ahead to recheck up my pattern. Make sure this other part is kind of curvy like that. You go up just about 0.25. You connect that up and cut. All right, this is the other pattern I did with my other tutorial. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.